This is a test. This is only a test. If this had been an actual emergency, the attention signal you just heard would have been followed by official information, news, or instructions.
It is 6 in the morning. Very excited because it is 28 days later since our first global transmission, Gina, and I was pretty excited about that.
I know, 28 days later, kind of, I think it's fitting for what we're in right now, Joe. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've kind of lost my voice a little bit here over the last few days.
Yeah, tell everybody listening what happened. How'd you lose your voice, Gina?
Well, okay, so believe it or not,
I still didn't. I didn't believe it till I saw it.
I used to actually be in a UK punk band.
All-female UK punk band.
I used to be in an all-female UK punk band called the Crimson Lips. And
Crimson Lips.
Yep, they're here on their American tour, their North American tour, and they stopped by, so, we got a little rowdy for old time's sake, and my vocal cords are not what they used to be.
Did a lot of singing, did a lot of reminiscing. And so the Crimson Lips just showed up at the Lighthouse randomly, just this group of hot chicks in equipment. They've got guitars strapped on their back, and they come to visit you. And apparently when you were in college.
Studying abroad, baby.
Yeah, studying abroad for a semester. You used to be their lead singer in London. And no offense, but I just didn't realize you were that cool. How come you never told anybody you were in a UK punk rock band?
Well, it's one of those things that doesn't really come up in everyday conversation.
I would tell everybody. I mean, you listen to me tell everybody every minute detail about my life.
I do, but I don't like to be like, I feel like that would be like braggadocious, and that's not my style.
So how were you in a British punk rock band when you're not even British?
How Sid and Nancy living in New York City.
No extradition laws at the time, I'd guess.
So, but while we were, reminiscing,
us guys crashed your party.
You boys did.
I already know where you're going with this. So Neil, who, as everybody knows, is our station manager, actually showed up. Imagine that. Imagine that. Didn't bring Jordy because Jordy was sick.
Of course he is.
And then Mercury Jones, who does our late night all last request and dedication show.
Love Mercury Jones.
Showed up because us guys wanted to convince the ladies to host a wet t-shirt contest. And surprisingly, your friends were pretty cool. They were down with it. And sad to say that I came in second. Mercury Jones won.
It's because he has those little pecs there. But you held your own, Joe. You held your own.
At least I beat Neil.
You did. I feel like everybody should beat Neil. So I'm real nervous about today. And so I'm a little trepidatious because I'm concerned that my voice is going to, ruin the flow of the show. Because we've got big guests on, and I don't want to be, off of my game.
We do have some big guests. Coming on. We've got journalist and author James Buttler here to discuss the Ashes, the tragedy that's happening at the Ashes, as we all know. We've got your friend, techno sensation Procrastinatrix.
Love that guy.
He's on to talk about the Night of the Living Rave at Cardiff Castle. Mm-hmm.
Yep, it should be really awesome. I think the lineup is going to be like phenomenal.
But yeah, so wait, hold on. Look at this, Gina. We've got ourselves a voicemail.
This is Red on the Road. I'm reporting live from Quebec, Canada. How's everything going, Joe and Gina? Just want to quick leave you a voice message to tell you what's going on up here. The fires are raging, people. I can't even begin to tell you how bad. I'm sure some of you down there in the good old US of A are smelling the smoke. Well, it's real. It's, again, like a giant barbecue. It has attracted a horde of zombies. They've suddenly shown up. The firefighting crews, the Canadian Mounties, they are fighting both fire and teeth. These people are, again, having their arms ripped off. Gina, we've talked about the armless people. We need to get limbs up here. How are they going to hold the hoses? But honestly, what's even more an immediate question is who's going to make the croissant? If they don't have any arms, who's going to make the croissant? Anyway, it looks like the winds are changing. I need to get out of here, people. It looks like the zombies have just suddenly noticed me, and I'm not real good at dragging my leg. Gina, I know you've been sick. Just a heads up, you should be getting a knock on the door any minute now. I went underground to my peeps up here in Old Canada. They went ahead, got to the dispensary. We're sending the good shit your way because I know how hard it is to get good drugs on Thailand. All right, right back to you at the studio.
Man, Red is just so brave. Like, she's such an awesome person to be out there, just, really
Grit,
making
with
sure
that
that,
grit
yeah, she's
and
got
the
that grit.
spit,
Yeah.
the
You
stick
know,
to itiveness.
I couldn't imagine just, going all across the country. She's really unprotected.
All across the continent, really.
Yeah, honestly. So, and I mean, it's nuts that, as soon as she goes up there, we start to get all this smoke from these wildfires.
You think those might be affecting your throat?
I was wondering a little bit because I just, I think if anything, it's not going to help it.
Oh, what's this? We've got a knock at the door. What an eventful morning this has been. Hold on, let me go check this out.
So much activity.
Oh, we've got a package. Let me just sign for that here. Go ahead and open that up, Gina.
All right, let's see what's in here.
It's addressed to you.
Okay, so looking like we've got a package of maple leaf tea.
It's Red's medicine. Is
and
there some cough syrup in there?
Syrup.
Oh.
There is. I got to try a little bit of this.
How did she deliver that so quickly?
I don't even want to know. Probably some cartel stuff.
Go ahead, give it a shot.
I'm gonna try this out. It looks awful.
How's your voice sounding?
You know what? I
What?
think it's working.
Yeah?
I think it's working.
That's
Let's do
perfect.
this interview.
That's perfect because we got the Procrastinatrix on the line. Procrastinatrix, hey, how are you?
Hello.
How is it in Wales?
Well, we're doing okay because it's got less of a population. We don't have much in the way of zombies, so I'm feeling kind of safe.
Oh, good.
Now this is where we're having this is the giant rave that's all over the news, right?
Well, we are known for having raves up in the hills, yeah.
And you're protected for like the guests. How do you guarantee they're going to be safe for you?
Well, there's inoculations, but I don't know. We're just playing it by ear and hoping for the best.
Inoculations, what are those? This is America, so.
Well, we've developed an antibody against the virus, whatever it is that's making these zombies. Yeah, most of us are vaccinated against zombie virus. So.
That must be nice. That should make things a lot easier.
Well, yeah, that's why we're having this rave.
Now, I don't mean to get off topic, but I used to be a rave DJ back in the 90s, and there was a lot of, well, we didn't call it Molly back then, a lot of ecstasy. Now, does that, if somebody, hypothetically speaking, if somebody is, I believe the term is tripping balls, now, will that interact with the vaccine and then make it meaningless? Would you know?
I don't think he knows about that, Joe. He's not a doctor. He's a DJ, electric music composer.
Dr. Dre.
Well, I'm just hoping for the best, but if some mollied out people get, I don't know, ragey and rabid, we just have to play it by ear. I've got a hedge trimmer, an electric hedge trimmer.
Oh.
If the worst comes to the worst, I'll fire that up.
Do you guys use gardening tools as weapons? Because I was wondering, we have guns here, but I know that like
we don't have guns. We don't have guns.
Right. Even out in the I guess rural parts, you guys don't have guns at all.
We're just not into guns, no.
But hedge trimmer. But you know what? I feel like that's a good weapon.
I'll fire it up if you like.
Yes, please. I want to hear it a little bit.
Oh shit! The batteries are running out. Yeah, no, this isn't going to go well.
Oh no! So, tell me a little bit about your music. How did you even get into like the electronic?
I just got kind of obsessed with it because I've been spending a lot of time in isolation, obviously, with what's going on. And, and it just keeps me engaged. Kind of post-apocalyptic sounds, big beats, kind of theremin-y, spooky atmospheres. And I've just been churning out album after album, like for the last 3 years.
Beautiful albums too, by the way.
Oh, you like it? Great.
What do you spice in there?
I'm not really into genre, so I'm kind of a bit genre fluid. I like
free artistry.
That's it. So each track kind of defines itself as it's being built. I like to just let the music speak for itself and not be kind of pigeonholed into one genre or another. But everything from like drum and bassy kind of stuff through ambient, bleep loops, all sorts of stuff.
Favorite UK musician?
Aphex Twin, without a doubt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Favorite American musician?
Oh God, I don't listen to much music from America. I'm a bit.
What about the Beatles?
Isolated. They're not American. You can't claim them. I like the noises that Skrillex makes.
That's cool.
I do like Skrillex is cool. Yeah.
He's kind of mutated dubstep. Dubstep started in Britain, but he kind of mutated it in an interesting way. So we give him credit.
Like we kind of follow. We're like, oh wait, they've changed it. Time to change again.
I think it's because we're a small island, and so the culture's a bit more compressed. I think things take longer to spread in America unless it's mainstream and it's getting pushed.
Or viruses.
Yeah, we are great at pushing a virus. I'm hoping it doesn't spread too fast for you guys. Oh my God.
It is here, but like I said, the inoculations, hopefully you're keeping it at bay.
So what's the latest album called?
Well, the album that if you are hearing this, it may already be too late. Yeah, that just kind of sums up the apocalypse for me.
It does. And the sound of it too. Great. Well, Toby, is that glass that I hear breaking?
What is that?
What is that sound?
It's coming from downstairs. Just a minute, I'll have a look.
Yeah, take a look at that. I gotta be nervous.
Oh, yeah, where is he right now?
I think he's out in the wilds of Wales.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'll just get my head trimmer just a sec.
Yeah, take that with you to be safe.
Now, I was mistaken when he said electric hedge trimmers. I thought it was like a musical instrument, but it's
No.
actually hedge trimmers.
No, I mean that's a good idea. Like sharpen those up. Zoom, zoom.
Oh shit! No, there's definitely something coming.
Okay, could be a somebody early for the event. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
No, this is definitely not human.
Oh God.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to get into gear.
Yeah. Hopefully you've had time to charge those hedge trimmers.
Oh, it's been a few minutes. They'll be good.
It's working. Just they're sharp at least.
Oh,
How far away would you say it is?
They're close.
Toby, you've got me scared.
I'm absolutely terrified. I didn't want to go out like this.
No, I know. Can we access your records and post-mortem put them
Well,
out?
if I go, then it's just Bandcamp. That'll be my epitaph. Check out the Bandcamp and think of me.
I love that he plugs while he's getting ready to die.
That's a true entertainer.
Yeah. So, well, wish me luck, guys.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see you at the rave. What was the event called again, Toby?
Oh, we don't have time for that.
Procrastinatrix. This is the song you die to. Broadcasting 1,000,000 watts of zombie busting power. Brains 98.6 KZ. Zombie Zhead Radio, the mega station.
That was our good friend Procrastinatrix with his single, If You're Hearing This, It May Be Too Late. You can follow Procrastinatrix on his Bandcamp page, procrastinatrix.bandcamp.com. He was planning to headline Night of Living Rave at Cardiff Castle this Saturday, and we had a whole special plan, but I'm not quite sure he's going to make it now.
Going to be a great festival, Night of the Living Rave. He's going to be the main stage headliner at Cardiff Castle. Some of the other DJs that'll be there, DJ Thrilla Knight, Solo Man Grundy. They've got Headphones Bub, DJ Billy Butcherson, 8 Them Brains, Zombie Number 9, DJ Dawn OTD, Ghoulia Beats. Going to be a great show. You know, Gina, I used to be techno DJ in Detroit in 2000 for a hot minute. DJ Kid Kool-Aid, that was my name.
You know, it's so funny because a lot of times I don't know if the stories you tell me are true or not.
Sadly, that one is. Hey, but more sadly, it seems like your voice problem has returned. You still sound a little scratchy. Did you try the tea?
No, but I like my tea, so I'm a little hesitant.
Well, if it comes from Red, it's probably reliable.
It probably is what scares me.
So you used to be in the Crimson Lips. You used to be in a UK all-female punk band, which is pretty kick-ass, if you ask me. What other awesome things did you do in Great Britain while you studied abroad that one single semester?
Well, I crammed quite a bit in. I learned all about cricket.
Cricket! Well, you know, remember our kids, the old taxi driver who now drives the death bus, he's Indian.
How could I forget our kids?
He taught us all about cricket on the way. Well, he taught me. Apparently you knew all about it.
I knew about it, but
on our way to Chicago Blues
I enjoyed
Festival.
his passion.
So our kids told me about this podcast. It was while you were asleep because it was, a 36-hour drive. And he likes to talk. You know what? He likes to joke a lot too, which apparently is where he gets his name. But he was telling me about this podcast, Deadly Overs. And now that I think about it, that host sounds very familiar to me, Gina. Let's take a listen.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to Deadly Overs, a podcast of murder and cricket. February 1989, there is a body discovered in the Waikato River in New Zealand called Hooker Falls. And so when they find this body, strangely enough, it's completely naked. And even more strange is that the hands and feet of this person were tied up. So obviously, this is not a suicide. So the police, they pull the body out and they identify the person as 51-year-old Peter Plumley Walker, who was a prominent English cricket umpire. Once they discover that it is Plumley Walker, they go and they check out where he was staying, and they're looking for clues. And next to the phone, they find this handwritten note that says, Mistress Dominique.
So is that you?
Yeah, it is me.
Why do you try to hide how cool you are?
Well, I feel like I'm kind of dorky for
being in a punk band.
Well, I mean, the punk band's kind of cool, but that just
seems... true crime podcast.
Yeah, that seems a little, I don't want to be like, oh, nerdy Gina with her history
and her guitar skills. Oh, what was me? So what's Deadly Overs about? Can you tell us a little bit about Deadly Overs?
Well, it's a podcast of murder and cricket. And it's really cool because there is such just an awesome if you like true crime, history
Who doesn't like true
murder
crime?
And death and cricket. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, off the top of my head, I can think of some of the episodes that we did. So there's a big match fixer, you think Pete Rose, but on steroids, named Hansi Kronji. So there's a whole story about how he was, possibly killed by basically the Indian mafia.
Ooh.
Montague Druitt was a suspect in being Jack the frickin' Ripper.
I think I heard about that one.
Let's see what
he's the guy who washed up in the river, right?
Yep, he washed up in the river, and he had rocks and money in his pocket and train ticket.
Trying to get out of town, and then the murder stopped, right?
Yep, the murder stopped conveniently after that. Just wait, Joe.
Dastardly.
Exactly. You're gonna love this one. Renee Chigno was a dominatrix who went on trial for the death of a cricket umpire.
Now, did she kill him just like in the street, or was it during like a session?
It was, well, of course it was during a session.
I had
So
to
she
ask.
had left him tied up to kind of sit and stew for a while about being a bad boy, and she came back and he was dead. And so her and her idiot boyfriend, he convinced her to go dump the body.
Ooh, don't tell us too much. Spoiler alert.
It's interesting.
Deadly Overs. Where can we listen to this podcast?
You can see it on 365notout.com. Click
Okay.
on the podcast tab. Season 1 is out already. That's what we talked about. And then we have season 2 coming this fall.
What's happening in season 2?
So for season 2, we have the mysterious death of George Spendlove.
Who's that?
He was the man who died during the series that actually started the Ashes. So it actually kind of goes in line with everything we're doing today.
Well, speaking of the Ashes, we all know what's going on over there. There's no way people haven't heard about it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the Ashes are in full swing. Australia took the first test series, so we're kind of waiting to see how that turns out, but it's a very long process since it is a test match.
It's looking good over there, and how they're still going on regardless of the zombies all over London is very impressive. And we have a very special guest on the phone right now to tell us all about it. James Buttler, author, journalist, and host of the very popular Cricket Badger podcast. So James, tell us a little about your podcast. What inspired you to create it?
It's called the Cricket Badger Podcast. I've loved cricket since I was 6-7 years old. Worked in cricket from 2006 onwards. Podcasts were getting popular around that time. So when I became a full-time freelance journalist, decided to sort of dip my toe into doing podcasts, and now 442 episodes into it.
Wow, that's a lot.
So you said you got started at 6 years old. What got you? How'd you get bit by the cricket bug?
I was taken by my late grandma down to Kent and ended up going to the cricket with my great uncle. They were worried that I was going to be fidgety and not enjoy it, and I was transfixed from the very start and loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Now, how can we listen from anywhere in the world to your podcast?
Simply put Cricket Badger Podcast into Google or into your favorite podcast platform, and I'm sure you'll find it. It's there.
What's the backstory for Badger?
A cricket badger is somebody who's probably a bit of a geek, bit of a cricket tragic.
Oh, okay.
It's used as a bit of a derogatory term in dressing rooms and stuff. You're a bit of a badger. And I quite liked it, and I thought for somebody that sort of delves into cricket and is a bit obsessed by it, it's not a bad title.
So it's a British word. Is it a British word or a cricket word?
It's a kind of crickety thing. I mean, obviously,
Nice.
a badger's a little black and white animal, but in Australia, they call them cricket nuffies. In England, we call them cricket badgers.
We're learning something.
So now, not too many Americans understand cricket, and like I think I always hear, at least from my perspective, oh, it's too complicated.
Which it's not.
No, it's not at all. So do you could you explain cricket in like simple, like kid terms,
American terms.
so Americans can understand it?
You're asking me a tough one there. There used to be a tea towel which had the rules, explain rules to an American. I haven't got the tea towel with me. But basically, it's 11 people per side, men or women. And you have a batting team and a fielding team at any one time. All of the fielders go out. They're all 11 fielders. Obviously, one person's bowling, one person is keeping wicket. So it's a little bit like baseball from that perspective. There's a person that bowls the ball at the batter. Two batters are in at any one time. They basically either defend it or try and hit it for runs. If they clear the fence, it's 6. If it goes along the ground, it's 4. Or you run. If it goes into a gap, you can run runs to accumulate your total. It's as a pitcher in baseball, you just throw it as hard as you can, don't you? But in cricket, the bowlers have got a little bit more about them. They have shine on one side of the ball, which helps it swing. They can bowl fast. They can bowl spin. They probably need to be a little bit fitter because they run in, whereas your pitchers just stand on that mound, don't they, and hurl the ball down. So there's that side of it. And there's different formats of cricket. You have test matches, which are 5 days long. They can finish in a draw, which I don't think Americans can get their head around. Or you have one-day cricket. They have sort of T20 or 50 over cricket. England are currently world champions in both of those, which I'll just throw in. And so that is for a set period of time, set number of balls bowled over overs bowled. So you have to get more runs than your opposition in that period of time, and you win the game. So there's a bit more to it than that, but and there's all sorts of different ways you can get out if you're a batter. But generally speaking, it's who can get the most runs, who can hit the ball the furthest, get the most runs, and wins the match.
First of all, that was a phenomenal explanation.
It was really good.
Second of all, I was upset that you guys didn't get into the World Test Championship, so you could have all three at the same time. So that was frustrating for me as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're not like you Americans who just call things the world title and then just play it amongst yourselves.
Isn't that hilarious? I love that about us. World champions, but it's only us.
It's just us. Well, you don't play this, it's ours.
My favorite is the NBA, the National Basketball Association World Champions. Like, even in the name alone, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So you got to pick yourselves up.
So you just described cricket really easily, and it's really frustrating because baseball fans act like it's this complicated game. But have you ever watched baseball, James?
I kind of watched a little bit of it. It's a little bit equivalent to rounders.
Yeah.
At school you play rounders.
It's rounders.
And it's basically you kind of hit the ball and then you run from across the bases, don't you, to try and get a home run or whatever. I kind of know the basics of it.
Yep. Yeah. And then you get 3 outs and you leave, and the other team comes up until they get 3 outs and they leave, and then you come back. That doesn't even make any sense. There's a foul line, so if you hit it really hard just outside of the foul line, now it doesn't count at all.
It really is complicated, and but the thing is it's one of those things. Of course, it's there, so you know it. So it's not that it either are more or less complicated. It's just the knowledge. And by the way, cricket's better anyway. So
absolutely, yeah,
no question about it. So the Ashes. So this is why we called you up, because we need your inside scoop. So the Ashes are currently taking place, and it's always a big deal for cricket fans, especially over there. It's the longest format of the game. So what is so exciting about the Ashes? Why is it so popular when it lasts for so long?
It's a rivalry. It's been going on since 1877, which is nearly as long as your country's been in existence. It first was played in Melbourne in that year. That was the first ever Test match. Then in 1882, when the Aussies came to England, they won at the Oval in London at the cricket ground there. And in one of the newspapers, they did a little bit of satire, and it basically read something along the lines of England cricket has died and the body will be cremated and the ashes taken to Australia as a bit of a joke.
Right. Very dramatic.
It got kind of taken up a little bit. The journalists then said next time England went to Australia, they were going to reclaim the ashes. There were some women in Australia got a little urn together and they presented that to the England team. And that is probably, it's still in existence. The little urn itself is only 4 inches high. I think it's the smallest trophy, smallest big sporting trophy in the world. And it is held in the Museum at Lord's in London. So when you see the players celebrating the little urn at the end of the series, that isn't the real one. That's like a 10.99 one out of the shop. Because I think if you picked up the original one there, it'd probably just crumble in your hands because it's very old. But, and it's been played ever since. And there's a big rivalry between England and Australia. Winning the Ashes is huge for both countries, and at the moment, unfortunately, Australia hold them.
Yeah, it's not looking very good either.
So we've had one match of this series so far. There's still 4 Test matches to play, but I'm a bit fearful, Joe. That this zombie apocalypse is going to stop this Ashes series in its tracks.
So how is it looking over there? Is it holding up? It's at Lord's, right? The current match is at Lord's, right?
Yeah, there's zombies all over London at the moment.
How are they protecting Lord's?
They've tried to get a bit of a perimeter boundary sorted out. Obviously, it's all got cameras there, keeping the zombies at bay. The stewards are not looking after the crowd anymore. They're just kind of marshalling the fence. But we should get the game in.
The good news is if it's a draw, nobody will be disappointed.
Now the question is can you teach a zombie to play cricket?
I mean, they wouldn't need pads or any protection, would they? They'd just get their leg blown off by the ball, wouldn't they? Because the cricket ball's very hard, Gina. It's not a soft thing. If you get hit on the head or hit on the body with a cricket ball, you know about it. So a zombie, even though they are undead, it would probably do them a bit of damage.
It's not really a good way to protect ourselves. Get a little cricket bat and ball, get them out of there.
Have you seen Shaun of the Dead? The film Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking about.
They use a cricket bat and that to actually
famous scenes.
Hit the zombies over the head with the cricket bat. Yeah.
So if you could resurrect any bowler, any batsman, and any wicketkeeper in the zombie apocalypse to put together your zombie team, who would you bring back to life?
They're zombies,
Ooh.
but they play like they're prime.
But they're still gentlemen. They're gentlemen zombies.
I think we'd have to get Don Bradman out the grave.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because he is probably the most famous of the players of yesteryear, Australian, and averaged 99.94 in test matches. When he came out at the Oval to play his last ever game, I think he needed to score 4 runs to get a career average of 100 or more. Nobody's ever got anywhere near that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was out for a duck, got out for naught on his final appearance. So his average is 99.94, but it's almost better for
awful.
that. 99.94 is more of a story. So he was out cheaply in his last one, but incredible player. It'd be great to see him playing. Only ever seen old grainy footage of Don Bradman.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we come to an all-rounder, an Ashes all-rounder, Ian Botham, he's not dead, so we don't need to resurrect him, but he is famous for his 1981 heroics. He was captain at the start of the series, had a terrible time as captain. England were 2-0 down in the 5-match series. He was replaced by Mike Brealey as captain. Ian Botham returned to the ranks and blazed centuries, took wickets, won the last 3 test matches almost single-handedly, and that goes down as Botham's Ashes. So Ian Botham deserves his place in a team. And then
Absolutely.
a wicket keeper, we'll go with Alan Knott. He's my favourite. I saw my first games down in Kent, and he was the Kent keeper, and he was just a genius.
Oh, nostalgia there.
Absolutely.
One specific famous Ashes series that you'd recommend for Americans to watch, the full series. Which one would you choose and why?
2005. There's a lot of the current team were inspired by 2005.
I was going to say, they're talking about that one a lot right now.
Yeah. It goes down as probably certainly in the modern era, the most iconic. Michael Vaughan was England captain. They took on an Australian side who had been dominant. They'd basically been everybody. They'd thrashed England millions of times, it seemed. And when they turned up in England, Australia were hot favourites to win. But England decided that they were going to try and go toe-to-toe with them. They lost the first test match at Lord's. But then the series was just, every game was dramatic. Every game had something in it. They won at Edgbaston in Birmingham by 2 runs, England, getting a wicket just before Australia got across the line to win. I was at Trent Bridge as England just managed to score enough runs on the final day. The late great Shane Warne.
Yes.
We'll get him into that zombie apocalypse team as well.
Good call.
He was an absolute genius.
Mm-hmm.
But he was turning the ball square with his spin, and England just managed to get across the line to win that one. And then Kevin Peterson and co batted out at the Oval for a draw in the final game at the Oval to seal the series win. And it goes, there were DVDs made of that series. People still talk about it now. So that goes down as a very, very famous Ashes series.
That is the one that we will watch.
Yeah, we have to go back and
Shane Warne, unbelievable. He tried to make it here in America for a while. He tried to get into movies, and his biggest claim to fame here is he partied and hung out with Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah, he liked to party. He he dated Liz Hurley for a while, which is no mean feat. And I think he packed a lot into his life. He gone too soon, but he crammed a lot in.
What do you have coming up next? What exciting things are you working on?
What is next for James Buttler?
Well, hopefully, existence into tomorrow. But I'm not so sure now because the zombies are getting closer.
Oh no!
No.
But, there's one that just appeared at the window.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Which is not good because I'm on the first floor flat. So he's a very, very tall zombie.
Oh my gosh!
Obviously got the rest of the English summer, the cricket. I also do some work in football as well, so it's not too long before the Premier League starts again. That's in August. And then I'm planning a trip to India for the Cricket World Cup.
Nice!
That's in October, November. Never been to India. India, 1.4 billion people who pretty much love cricket. All of them love cricket.
Absolutely.
So the crowds there and the atmosphere there is going to be absolutely incredible. So looking forward to that. If that trip comes off, that should be a lot of fun for 6 weeks following England in India.
And we can follow you on Twitter. And are you on anywhere else?
Get me on @cricket_badger. On Twitter. I'm more than happy to have more followers on that, and you can watch me rant away about cricket all day long, and hopefully there will be more tweets to follow because that zombie is now climbing through the window and coming to get me.
Oh my god. Okay, well, you fight him off, grab your cricket bat, and we'll
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, man. Get it out of there.
He's climbed in, he's breaking through. Oh no!
Oh no!
I love how our United Kingdom guests die so civilly.
Yes, they're so polite.
So
please don't do that, Mr. Zombie. That's very, very rude of you.
Offer him some tea, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like a picnic.
Crumpet station.
Oh, and there he goes. He's gone.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh, man. I was really hoping James would make it to the Cricket World Cup. James the Cricket Badger, this is a song you die to.
Once again, that is our good friend Procrastinatrix, pioneer of Welsh electro, with Ghosted, the opening track on his latest album, Projectional Identification.
You can check him out on Bandcamp, YouTube, and even maybe Night of a Living Rave at Cardiff Castle. If somehow we can get him to headline, zombie or not, we'd love to see him there.
The whole event will last from dusk till dawn. Cover is 20, that would be pounds, right, Gina? 20 pounds?
Pounds, British pounds.
But not the weight, the money.
No,
That's
the
always
money.
hard for me to understand.
No, pounds, not lubs.
Lobs. Other artists that will be there, hopefully, DJ Thriller Night. They got Solo Man Grundy. You're a big fan of Headphones Bub.
And Zombie Number 9. I'm really excited for that.
You like them? What about
Yep.
DJ Billy Butcherson and Eight Damn Brains?
8 Dumb Brains just makes me laugh looking at their name.
DJ Dawn OTD and Ghoulia Beats will be there.
So now, are you going to be there, Kid Kool-Aid?
I don't think I'm going to be able to make the trip. I don't know. Can our kids fly a plane?
Maybe our kids can. We should ask him the next time we see him.
So, Gina, unfortunately, I have to say that I went to make you some tea during the song, but then Sandy, your Korean bobtail cat, drank it all by accident, and now I'm pretty sure she's hallucinating and has the giggles.
Can a cat even have the giggles?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. So apparently you're a rock star. Crimson
Yeah.
Lips stopped by for the weekend, and you host
Deadly Overs.
a true crime podcast. Very fascinating stuff. I would be surprised to learn that you and James Buttler have a lot in common. He is a journalist. He's written about murder and death in sports.
Yeah, he has his own crime book.
Very, very interesting stuff. You've got to check it out. Follow him on all social media. Now, what I do know about cricket is there is a conspiracy theory that the Big Lebowski is actually about the Ashes.
Yeah, I read that article on 365notout.com, and of course that would be the thing that because you love the Big Lebowski.
This article is fascinating because apparently this is like a real thing on the internet. People really do think that the Big Lebowski is about cricket, and there's a lot of stuff broken down about it. I just thought that was interesting,
Yeah, the ringer has to be your whites.
You threw a ringer out for a
Makes
ringer,
sense
man.
to me.
So,
Ma'am?
so here is another packet for you of tea. I hope this one works. I definitely kept it away from Sandy, which is fine because she's just tumbling down the stairs right now.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I'm pretty sure she's laughing. I've never seen a cat laugh, but Sandy's doing it. A lot's happening in England right now, believe it or not. London is where it's happening, and they're a country basically without guns at all.
Well, it's those cricket bats they got, Shaun of the Dead style.
Oh no, your voice is shot again, Gina.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think this medicine is, it's going in and out really bad. I think it's one of those, it uses the health from later.
Try taking the rest of the maple leaf syrup. It looks like that's all you've got left there.
Yeah, that's it. I really wish you hadn't wasted that tea on Sandy.
Yeah, I know. But good news is I'm on it because I sent Red a text, and she is sending another supply over right now via drone. She's going to do a drone drop. So I'm going to go ahead and go out there and wait for that. So you think you can hold it down while I'm gone?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Broadcasting 1,000,000 watts of zombie busting power. Brains 98.6 KZ. Zombie Zhead Radio, the mega station.
Once again, that was our good friend and Welsh electronic pioneer Procrastinatrix. If we can reanimate this guy and get
We
him
have
there,
to. He's phenomenal.
I know we've got to do it. We have the technology. We need to build.
You know who
him.
does? Dr. Ricci. We got to get a hold of Dr. Ricci.
Dr. Reach. If anybody could do it, it'd be the Reach.
We can't ruin Night of the Living Rave because of us. You know, people come on our show and they die. Thank God there's no government
we're
overreach.
responsible. We're responsible for at least trying to get them back.
Well, since there's no Supreme Court, we don't have to worry about getting in trouble.
That's true.
So I'm a little worried right now.
Why? What's wrong?
So I went to go find Sandy. She had made her way all the way to the top of the lighthouse.
Oh no.
And having a blast. No worries. Having a blast. But I went up there to get her. And well,
What?
so I saw this old wooden ship coasting this way. It was real rickety, real scary looking.
Did you see like a name on it?
I did see the name, and that made things even scarier. It was called the HMS Terror. That was its real name.
Wait, Terror?
Terror, like horror, like terrors. Frightening.
All right. Well, here's my history buff coming in again.
That you learned
the
it while you
Terror
were
was
in
a British
college
ship.
overseas?
Yep.
So you took history?
Of course. Who? If you're in Britain, what else are you going to take? You take history, cricket, and tea.
That makes
Those
sense.
are my 3 courses.
Worth the
So-
money. Worth every penny.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't pay for it. Student loans never came due. So, anyways, that was actually a British ship that was used in the War of 1812.
So you're familiar with it. You're
Yeah.
familiar with the HMS Terror. War of 1812?
Yep. Battle of Baltimore.
Ugh.
So here's the thing, though, is that it disappeared and it was lost at sea, and it actually went like totally missing in 1845. It was on it was on an expedition to find the basically the Northwest Passage, and then it went missing, like
Disappeared.
completely gone.
Lost at sea?
Yep, lost at sea. It's a
Ugh.
ghost ship. People see it, like when it's super foggy out, like late at night and in the morning.
Well, I'm looking out the window and it looks like it just docked on the island.
That's literally impossible.
The British are coming, Gina. The British are coming.